So, continuing to the first chapter of the Quran, which is called AlBaqra, means in English cow. Bakra is an Arabic word, and then it's the English we can call cow. So, as I told before, that it is the longest surah or chapter. In English we say chapter, and in Arabic we say surah. So the major issues, divine laws and guidance are as follows in this surah. Number one, claim of Quran. This is the book which contains no doubts. Next, creation of Adam, man's nature and his destiny. Next, the children of Israel in the people of the book, or people of the book means Jews and Christians. Next, Israelites' sin of worshipping the statue of a cow. Statue of a calf, the kid of cow. Next, punishment of Israelites' violations of Sabbath. Next, nature of Jews' belief. Next, Allah always orders not to prevent the people from coming to masjid. Masjid means the place of worship of Muslims, mosque. Next, Ibrahim and his sons were neither Jews nor Christians but were Muslims. Next, Ibrahim or Abraham, in English we call Abraham and in Arabic we call Ibrahim. So Abraham, Ishmael and their building of Kaaba. Next, change of Qibla. Qibla means in Arabic, in English means direction in the prayers. So change of Qibla towards Kaaba in Mecca. Next, Allah orders not to profess any faith blinds. Allah orders not to profess any faith blind. Next, the moon is created to determine the time periods, months, years at that time, before the science advances. Next, hypocrisy versus real faith, true belief. Next, Ayatul Kursi means in English verse of the throne of Allah. Next, Allah orders the believers to enter into Islam completely, not half-heartedly, completely. Next, punishment of a murtad in Muslim who becomes a non-Muslim. Murtad means who diverts and leaves the Islam. Next, it's unlawful to marry a mushrik who worships women, someone else besides Allah. I repeat, it's unlawful to marry a mushrik. Mushrik, Arabic words, in English we say, who worship someone else besides Allah. Next, Viceroy is not by numbers, but by Allah's help. I'm sorry, not Viceroy, victory. Victory is not by numbers but by Allah's help. Next, confrontation of Abraham and Nimrud, which was the king of that time. Next, what makes charity worthless? Next, taking Osore is the declaring war against Allah and His Rasul. Next, all business dealings relating to deferred payments must be in writing. Next, retaliation against oppression. Next, non-compulsion in religion. Next, divine laws are promulgated relating to the following categories. Number 1, food, fasting, self-defense, charity, retribution, bribery, evidence, drinking, wills, jihad, pilgrimage, blood wit. So these are the divine laws which we can say the Shariat in Arabic. Then continuing, gambling, menstruation, alimony, usury, loans, marriage, oaths, nursing, buying on credit, pledge/mortgage, orphans, divorce, widows, debts. Believer supplication to Allah. So here we have learned certain things, that what are the topics in this surah or chapter called AlBaqra, the cow. And with the divine laws, we can call it in Arabic Shariat. So guidance is also provided concerning social, cultural, economic, political and legal issues through addressing the Jews who were acquainted with the unity of Allah, prophethood, revelation, the hereafter and the angels. The Jews professed to believe in the laws which was revealed by Allah to their prophet Moses, peace be upon him. In principle, their religion was the same, Islam, that was being taught by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Although they were originally Muslims, they had swerved from the real Islam and made innovations and alterations to their religion. As a result, they had fallen victims to hair splitting and sectarianism, so much so that they had even given up their original name, Muslims, and adopted the name Jew instead, and made religion a monopoly of children of Israel. This was Jews' religion condition when the Prophet went to Medina and invited them to the true religion, Islam. More than 1/3 of this surah or chapter addresses the children of Israel. A critical review of their history, moral degenerations and religious perversions has been made to draw clear lines of demarcation between the essentials and the non-essentials of the true religion, which is Islam. The Jews are warned not to mix up the truth and falsehood. During this period, a new type of Muslims called munafiqeen, you can say hypocrites, had emerged. There were, there were some who had entered the fold of Islam merely to have it from within, to harm it from within. There were some other category who had entered the fold of Islam merely to harm it from within. There were others who were surrounded by Muslims and became Muslims to safeguard their worldly interests. They therefore continued to have relations with the unbelievers so that if they become successful, the interest would remain secure. Allah has therefore briefly pointed not to characteristics of the hypocrites in this surah or chapter. Later on, when their mischievous deeds became manifest, detailed instructions were given in the next chapter or surah, Al-Tawbah. In brief, this surah is an invitation towards the divine guidance. All stories, examples, and incidents mentioned in the surah revolve around the central theme. This surah or chapter particularly addresses the Jews and cities and cites many incidents from their history to admonish and advise them that accepting the guidance revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is in their best interest. They should therefore be the first to accept it, because this message is basically the same as was revealed to the Prophet Moses, peace be upon him. So this was a brief of this Surah Baqarah. So next we will learn in steps, in detail, each verse of the Surah. Please keep watching my channel, Dr. Abu Abdullah.